Hey, welcome back here. Let's do some work. Let's create two DCs in Node 3, but we're gonna use Windows Admin Center as a tool. We're not gonna log into. We're not gonna use Hyper-V Manager. We're not gonna log into the server. We're just gonna log into the server just to validate, and then we'll go from there. So I have. Oh, so let me take it back right here. So I have all my nodes here, 1, 2, and 3. These are host physical. So and I have VMs that live in within, and the VMs that live within are on a different domain than where the hosts are. So here is one of my hosts, and this is where I'm starting to build. The third one is I'm going to my virtual machines. So whoever uses Windows Media Center, Windows Admin Center knows, and whoever doesn't, this is a very good tool. Start using it. You can do PowerShell with it. You have every tool in this toolbox, so you don't have to go nowhere. So here I just created this one, but I'm gonna create my second one. I haven't allocated any resources yet, but let's go ahead and do a second one. So I'm gonna have a redundancy DC on one host, but also is gonna join. I'm gonna join them to a domain where it's gonna replicate across the network. So let's do DC. It's node 3 DC2, and then of course generation 2, because generation 1 would be for an older version or Linux box or any of that. Right now, I'm gonna save this virtual system here on the host. I normally I have two partitions. This is a RAID server, but you know what? I'm gonna do it now just to see how. Never mind. Never mind. Since I'm just creating it here, I'll move them afterwards. Okay. Count 2. Here is, I think this is the memory, or the processor. 2, I'm gonna set it at 4, and then memory, I'll set it at 4 as well. It's gonna be a domain controller, and it's gonna have Active Directory. So I want it to fire real quick. Of course, if you're in the real world, you want to you would max this up to 16. I don't know, 28, depending on your host. And then, of course, my virtual disk, my virtual switch, which I created on the host. And then isolated mode. Nope, I'm not going to put an isolated mode. Isolated mode would be if you want to do a VLAN, and then just have a certain VLANs, certain VMs on a VLAN. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it free on the domain. Okay, so let's go ahead and create. Just creating. So at this point, I should have 2, and they're off. They're going to be off. Let me refresh. Okay. Pretty fast too, depending on. I haven't done a cert on this, so I'm not planning to put a cert. I put a cert on another system. Okay, so I have DC1, DC2, and this is going to be my VPN server, which is already prepped. I'm just gonna run the remote services. But all right, so I have these two now. I'm gonna fire up my server, which okay, so I already have it open. I'm screening it over. So let's go into. Here it goes, right here. So it immediately detected it. Let me see if it put the right settings that I gave it a 2. Yep. 4 gigs. Yep. So that's good. So now what I'm gonna do is, so if you guys see here, I need the disk. So let's do a disk, because that's where I'm gonna load up my image. I already have the images on here, so I save my ISOs here. I think they're on a separate partition, not on the root. I'm gonna put the server. So once I launch it, it's gonna start running, and I'm gonna see if I can do 2. See how powerful my server is, and then I'll look at the resources in Windows Media Center, Windows Admin Center. I keep forgetting that. As much as I use it, I should. Okay, so let's fire it up. Start, and then we're gonna go ahead and connect. And we all know how to run and install the process. I'll go out through it. I'll pause the video if I see I need to join it. I need to promote it to the. I need to promote it to the domain controllers, to the forest, because this is going to be a server where it's going to be a redundant backup for my Active Directory database. All right, so I'll be right back once I get this going, because I don't know if it's going to take long. Okay, boot it up, so let's go ahead and say next. I'm going to try to do a quick install, because I'm going to install these 2. And then I'm going to see if we're going to see how it looks at the resource side, the Windows Admin Center. I'm curious to see the graphical when it's actually installing. Okay, I'm doing the standard. Oops, look at that, no disk. All right, let's troubleshoot now. Let's troubleshoot. Let's go back. What happened? Did I not give it a disk? I know I did. It automatically. No, I didn't. I didn't. Look at that. There's no disk. Okay. So good. So that was a good. So let me see if I can do it running. I know there's a couple stuff you can do while it's running. Alright. So this is gonna be a new one. Dynamic. Now the difference of those 3, I'll let you guys know after. Another video I have that. I'm gonna put DC2. So in other words, dynamic, it'll give it a 127, and once it reaches that limit or it's getting closer to the limit, the system would automatically give it a little bit more resources. Okay. I must have missed that. Okay, so now I have the disk, I have the drive, everything should be there. Now let's see if it detects it here. If it doesn't detect, I'm gonna have to close this out and then restart it over. Let it boot up again to see if it. We'll see right now. This is the whole point of the troubleshooting. There we go. It's right here. We didn't need to reboot. So, and it's not giving me the. It's not giving me the format or the next, because it might be. All right, new try. Good. So you see how you learn something new every day? That's what you got to keep practicing in your lab. Okay, so now that this is going, let's put that in the side. Let's go to DC1. Get this one going. Processor. So look. So I'm not gonna make that mistake. I went through it pretty fast. I didn't want to. So now we need to add a disk and a drive. Normally you get the disk when you run the wizard from the beginning. I don't know. Something must have happened on here, but I'm not gonna try to investigate right now, because I want to. The whole point of this video is to get it going, install the DCs on. Oh, I know what happened. I did the DCs over here on right here, so that's why going to give me that option. I didn't see that option, but okay, that's fine. So let's go back. So next time I'm gonna know DC1 and fixable. Yep. Okay, now let's get the disk in here. and then we'll add the iOS. These are trials. When you're doing a lab, you're not gonna purchase the license because it's a little bit too much money. All right, so let's boot up to it. Let's start it, and then we'll connect. Minimize this. So now we have two DCs that are running. These VMs were created on Windows Admin Center, that's the purpose of this video. And it looks like the only step that is skipped was creating that hard drive. I did not see it. I'm gonna run through it again, but if you do create it, then you don't have to do anything. You just create them there, and it's like doing a template. In other words, but depending on the environment, if you have to create servers daily or weekly, you don't create servers, on a daily basis, but maybe something depending on the traffic of the company. But right now, this is a test, and we're continuing. Once I get the Windows, I'm gonna pause it for the sake of time, and then once I get there it goes. Look at that. I'm gonna do the same process, so I'll be right back. All right, I got them both running. So let's go and see Windows Admin Center running. Now I'm on the tab of the virtual systems, but I want to go see the overview of my resources. See how it's running. See how the memory and the CPU are doing. Look at this. This is pretty good. So this server is 20. I have 22.2 on it, but it's it has 16 gigs, 224 gigs of memory, and it has a processor, 16 logical processors. But look at this. It's running low. And that's what I wanted to see it. This I don't mind because this is the Ethernet. So it's pretty good. So far so good. Look at this. That was the test. That was the challenge I wanted to do today. Hopefully we learned something today.